Need to wait to check to see if we are in fact live, because I think we are now live. So hello everyone and welcome to the Geek Battle show here on the Xstreamed Improv Xstreamed YouTube channel, as well as the Geek Battle YouTube channel. I've just noticed we're also attempting to go live on X, but it won't let me stream to that anymore, so I'm going to remove X. Let's go live on Twitch, because that seems like a more sensible thing to do, if I can spot it.
Not only you stole our logo, X, but you banned us from the platform.
I know. Well, they didn't ban us. Like, I'm not banned from X. It's just that I'd have to pay, like, what is it they charge, £7 or £8 a month to be a premium member. And it's yeah, honestly. Yeah. And look, there's a lot of things that you can do which you couldn't do before if you do that. Longer posts, now streaming, even though you could do that before. Longer videos and all this kind of stuff, but it's a slippery slope, right? If you do that, then it'll tell YouTube and Facebook and all of these things to start charging you monthly. So on the principle, I'm not going to do it this month. But we'll see when I become weak. Okay, so on the show tonight, we're going to discuss all kinds of geeky things, and we'll work out who is this week's Geek of the Week. Captain Fave, I don't know if we're meant to be able to see you or if you are just a Shazam cartoon today, but say hello to the people.
I am a Shazam cartoon today, unfortunately.
That's no worries. Okay, so you have a geek fact for us, I believe.
Yes, in honor of the new Black Myth of Sun Wukong releasing, I would like to give you a geek fact about the Monkey King. The Monkey King, right? You guys saw the new video game, right?
Yes.
Everyone except David, and he does gaming documentaries.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so the Monkey King is a very famous Chinese mythological character, but in fact he's not actually part of Chinese mythology. He's actually a work of fiction. It was it's part of Chinese literature called The Journey to the West, which was inspired by a lot of mythological stuff. But the thing is, there is no mythological monkey god in Chinese mythology. But there is a monkey god in Hindu mythology that probably influenced a lot of the Monkey King, because again, India and China were like very close since forever. So it could have been a lot influenced by the Hindu god Hanuman. So he is the monkey god of Hindu mythology. He is the god of strength and the son of the wind god. And for some reason in Hindu mythology, wind is the super strength element for some reason. I don't know why, but all of his kids are super strong. I don't know, okay? The wind is just too strong. Anyways, the other thing I'd like to point out is that Hanuman has a cameo in the Black Panther film when M'Baku mentions glory to Hanuman. And apparently the Black Panther, the M'Baku tribe worships Hanuman as well. But I'm not sure how the connection between Africa and Asia was made, but like, let's go with it.
There you go. Definitely worth a bonus point there, Kat. I hope our viewers were listening, because I was not. Now, no, I'm joking. No,
Are you looking on the internet again?
No, what do you mean? Like, this whole show's on the internet. Of course I'm on the internet. Right, okay, but, Dave, on that note, what the hell are you showing? Nothing too spicy there, Kat. I see that his tail is...
Oh, jeez, what is that?
Yeah.
Why is he wearing a ball gag?
Yeah.
He's the god of strength, so apparently he's...
What kind of strength? Chastity?
The strength of those lips, look at them!
It's not the lips,
he's a monkey.
You think that's his tail? That ain't his tail, guys. Jesus. Right. And also, why is King Kong teabagging him from behind? What is that giant ball? This isn't rotated wrong. He's literally being pressed down by a big sack. Right, anyway.
Apparently his tail is long enough to make himself a throne that he can sit on, which he did. And he also burned...
Wait a minute. Make himself a throne that he can sit on. Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
It's a tripod.
Jesus. If I had that ability, I'd never leave the house. Right, anyway, Dave.
Hello to the people. I am Dave MC here in Paris, France. And my geek fact, following off of Cap's Black Wong, my geek fact is actually shorter than his. This is the worst Harry Potter game ever. Fact over.
Wow. Okay, so why do you say that?
Well, like the first load of them, that you had the Philosopher's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets, the Prisoner of Azkaban, they all had the same aspect that you wander around Hogwarts, you go to classes and you learn new spells by crawling through a crawl space. That's something in of itself. But the Goblet of Fire changed it up in that you have to collect shields in each location of Hogwarts to proceed to the next area.
Yeah.
And the only decent, I will give it some benefit. The Triwizard Trials are the only decent thing in the game. But apart from that, it's kind of like it's not like everything's fluid. Everything is just, oh, here's one level, here's another level, there's some bonus levels, here you go. And constantly hearing Ron screaming beans for about 3 hours is just bloody annoying. So, fact, this is the worst Harry Potter game.
Okay, I'm going to give you the point because I'll take your word on it. But literally, I did see this earlier today about some meme. Are you sure that's the worst Harry Potter game? Because this is from the PS1 game.
PS1 Hagrid is a sexy man.
He's like a national treasure.
That is a national treasure. That's the real Hagrid.
Yeah, good. Imagine being Robbie
Hello,
Coltrane.
Harry.
Imagine
Hello, Harry. It's me, Hagrid.
But imagine being Robbie Coltrane and you tell your children, it's like, oh, last year I was in the GoldenEye game. I think they're putting me in the Harry Potter game, and then they switch it on and it's that.
I remember PS1 Hagrid as well. I played that game so much back in the day.
To be fair, David, now you need to post a picture of him from GoldenEye.
Okay. What was his, do you remember his character's name?
There's a handful more of polygons in the Hagrid than there were in
Robbie Coltrane,
Wait, is that the GoldenEye game based on the film, or the spin-off one where you play it as a guy with a GoldenEye?
The only GoldenEye game, the N64 one.
What was wrong with the Xbox one?
It was shit. No, it's not the... it wasn't made by Rareware, basically. It wasn't made by Rareware. So, okay, do you know what? Look, I'll post it. But let's bring this up. Compared to the other one, this is truly a sexy beast. Right?
I haven't seen this.
And I don't even say it. No, look, you're going to see it. Unironically, this is 1 billion times better. So you've got that, or that. So come on.
It kind of reminds... Where's my background thing? It kind of reminds me of this.
It looks
Well,
like
yeah, look, but that is N64. What you've got there is probably
there
like
we go.
PS3.
There's the best video game character.
Or Castle Phase, yeah. Okay, audience, let us know. PS1 Robbie Coltrane or Nintendo 64 Robbie Coltrane.
Come on, PS1 Hagrid.
Oh
Come
no,
on.
N64 has got that one. And, like, it might even have, like, oh my god.
Oh, Jesus!
But to be fair, look, that's what they were working with. It's not far off. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty close.
the earlier one looked like Alec Baldwin for some reason.
Jesus. What, because he's got a gun in his hand. Right, anyway. Now, let's continue our introductions. Gerald, say hello to the people.
Hey everybody, long time no see.
Yes, you are back.
My trivia or geek fact is the font Comic Sans, which is a very despised font, is based on Dave Gibbons' lettering in the Watchmen comic books, and he also calls it Dreadful.
Wow, that's cool. Why don't people like it? Because it's overused.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you think about it, that was like one of the font options you had compared to whatever the base font was.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So what you're telling me, Gerald, is I need to now go back through every episode that I've done of Misty and Mork and change every font back from Comic Sans into something else.
Dave, I was literally just thinking, I've been posting my jokes of the day and some of them use Comic Sans at the end.
That's 16 hours of footage, Gerald. What have you done?
But it's not as bad as... is it Papyrus? Is that the one that's even worse? I think it is.
Isn't that fruit?
Isn't that the one that has all kinds of weird things?
That's papaya.
Yeah, I know.
It's not horrible, but it's not fantastic either.
No, okay, yeah. Well, you know what? Like, I'm going to give its dues to Comic Sans. I think it's one of these things that gets the hate in the same sense that Titanic does. So it's like one of these things where it's like it was really used and really popular, so people started hating it ironically. But yeah, got your back, Comic Sans. Now, Dev, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. And my geek fact of the week is Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 is the greatest game ever made.
Wait, what
because
game?
of the
Command
cast.
& Conquer?
Command & Conquer Red Alert 3.
Wow.
Because of the cast. The cast has Ric Flair and Tim Curry. And Tim Curry has the greatest line in gaming history. Are you ready for this?
Oh yeah, hang on. We may have shared this before on the show. Tim Curry, God, do you have it?
I have it and I know it by heart.
Okay, go, give it to us.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Yeah. we have taken that risk and shown it on the show before. He does it, it's like, he does it in this amazing accent. He's like, I'm escaping into one place, space! Like this. But you're saying Ric Flair is in that game?
Yes.
Oh my god, I need to find that clip. Command and Conquer.
What game is that?
Dev,
Yes.
was George Takei in a Command & Conquer game? Or am I being an idiot?
No.
Because I've got a clip, there's a clip I use in my Misty and Mork series, which he says, he's insulting the player, and he goes, "You are made of stupid."
Yes, he is.
It is!
He's
Yes!
in the game.
Wow.
He plays an emperor.
I'm actually,
Red
okay,
Alert
so
3.
if it's from a video game, usually, you know, YouTube don't, like, take a massive dump on your heads if you share video game footage. If I did, mine and Dave's YouTube channels wouldn't get very far. But let's see if I can find Command & Conquer with Ric Flair. I've never seen this. Let's see, there's got to be a oh my god. Okay, I don't know if this is just a promo, 14 years ago. Let's bring it up. It looks like it's a trailer, but let's bring it up. I'll avoid the shield for now. Oh, in fact, I've got a new shield. Been working on the shield to make it so it's a bit easier for us to actually see what's going on. So, let's see, Geek Battle. Boom. So hopefully this is enough. We'll find out. But wow, look at that. So
that's Ric Flair, is it?
that's Ric Flair.
Yeah.
The wrestler. He just said woo. The epic finale.
Oh,
Okay.
there's that Comic Sans font.
Wow, Flair versus Bear. Okay, let's find, more importantly, let's find the Tim Curry space. Tim Curry space.
Space!
Space! Right, here it is. Okay, 24
no.
seconds. Let's unmute this. How do I unmute?
For this,
Okay, can you tell me if you guys can hear?
you've rained on my glorious parade. For this, I'm sending everything I've got at you. But I won't let you have the satisfaction of catching me. I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Was he
That's
trying to
amazing.
do like a Scottish-Russian accent?
I think it was Russian,
Yeah,
supposedly,
Scottish.
You
anyway.
know
That
what,
was
though?
pretty rough.
You bring up such a good point. Wait. Oh, man, I'm going to get copyright struck. What was that, like Katy Perry or something, for 1 second? 1 second.
Nah, if it's 1 second of it, it'll be fine.
Oh,
That's why we're laughing so you can hear us.
There's
Yeah,
an
hopefully.
11-second window, David, so you don't have to worry about it.
no, there is actually, that's a complete myth that there is, it's only if it doesn't catch it. You're not allowed to use anything without them being able to get you if they want. But anyway.
Oh no!
Yeah, genuinely. It's a complete myth, the idea that, oh, you can use up to 20 seconds or stuff like this. Because otherwise every television advert would use stuff. So,
But there is a thing with YouTube Shorts that you can use any music you want, even if they will get copyright claim. But again, you don't make much money out of Shorts anyway. So
well, yeah, but so that's a good point. You can use anything, but you'll either risk getting a copyright claim, in which case it's demonetized, or you'll get a copyright strike, and that's problematic. It's up to them if they try to strike.
You won't get striked on shorts, but you will get claimed.
Yeah, that's a good point. Unfortunately, this is not a short. But, anyway, I think we've done introductions. That was definitely worth a bonus point. So, look at this. We are a good 25 minutes into the show, and we are done with our intros. So, with this, guys, what hot takes do we have? There's some stuff certainly to discuss, some new stuff out. There are reviews for Beetlejuice. I have not seen it yet. Rings of Power 2 is coming out, I think, tomorrow, or it's starting tomorrow at least. But let's hear what you guys have got for us. Dave.
I was going to say, I think everyone's seen it by now, the Sonic 3 trailer.
Yes!
Yeah.
Holy shit, that looked awesome. Like, hearing Keanu Reeves, I thought when they said Keanu Reeves was going to do Shadow the Hedgehog, I thought, oh, we're just going to get, we're going to hear his voice, we're going to instantly know, oh, it's Keanu Reeves. But hearing Shadow talk, I didn't recognise him when he spoke.
Well,
yeah, not as like Idris,
one line in the trailer, right?
Well, not like Idris Elba, when he came up, when they announced him as Knuckles, like, his voice was instantly recognisable. With Keanu Reeves, I didn't hear that at all, and seeing...
but I think it's hard not to recognise Idris Elba's voice. It's that kind of a voice.
And I was going to say, like, seeing the things in, like, because I think they're kind of basing it on Sonic Adventure, where Shadow made his first appearance. Seeing him on the Sonic Adventure 2, my mistake, thank you, David. Seeing him on the bike as well, like, and seeing him use what I think is Chaos Control, where he moves a lot faster than Sonic, stopping time travel and that. I think I'm excited for this, and seeing Robotnik back, like seeing Jim Carrey back as Robotnik is a lot of fun, and seeing him slowly devolving from a guy with hair and a little mustache into the fat guy we all know and love. Is a lot of fun, so okay, I am looking forward to this.
The end of the trailer, if you haven't seen it, it got Dr. Robotnik and his dad. Was Jim Carrey just the dad, or who was that?
It was
just
him.
the dad.
Yeah.
It was Jim Carrey.
Because I didn't know if I was meant to recognise it as someone else, but I thought, is that just Jim Carrey?
Yeah, he oddly looked like, who is that, Neil Patrick Harris from the Unfortunate series, where he played the character. Yeah,
I see what you mean, actually.
Like him.
Well, do you know what? Jim Carrey originally played that character.
Yeah.
So that's the coincidence.
That's like...
Was there a new one?
Yeah, with Netflix or something.
Netflix had Neil Patrick Harris, and there's the very old one with Jim Carrey.
The very old one.
I'm showing my age here. The
Jesus
very old
Christ,
one.
that's still a new movie to me. Right.
I'm showing my age a little bit today.
You know, I'm talking Flight of the Navigator level old here, when you say a very old movie. Like, Abbott and Costello is a very old movie.
It's old enough!
You're saying something with CGI is very old. I'm so upset. Right, okay.
It's dated, I'll say that much.
Okay, fair enough. Right, so, yeah, any other thoughts on the Sonic trailer? My couple of thoughts are, it's like, obviously they've got to bring Shadow in if they were going to do this, because basically the first one, at the end, it's like, here's Tails, and they went like, well, let's also bring in Knuckles, and now they've reached to the level where it's like, well, we need another new character, and so it is going to be Shadow. But, like, if you remember the Shadow the Hedgehog video game, it didn't do very well. And it was like they didn't know what to do with it. They were like, oh, we can do Shadow the Hedgehog, and now he can have guns and kill people. And then halfway through development, they panicked and like, we can't do this. It still looks exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog. And so then it ended up as a bit of a Frankenstein game, where it was kind of not edgy that they were going for, but still guns in Sonic the Hedgehog. It was strange. But this looks good. It's a Jim Carrey movie. It's got Cyclops in it, James Marsden again, and I'm sure it'll be good. The first two were good.
Yeah.
I have a question posed by this trailer. Obviously, like, Shadow is going to be the most powerful character in this, and like we immediately see like him whooping Knuckles and also Sonic's. But my question is, what if Idris Elba and Keanu Reeves fought? Who would win?
What, in real life?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good question. Right. Okay.
I mean, Idris Elba has legit 3 Muay Thai kickboxing wins. Legit wins.
And Keanu Reeves is John Wick. What's your point?
Yeah, Idris Elba has an MMA record, and Keanu Reeves does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So who would win this fight?
Well, let's do something here. Keanu Reeves has fought death. He's killed a bunch of assassins. Idris Elba has he's had the powers of a god, if not briefly, and he was killed in Ghost Rider. My money's on Keanu Reeves.
Hey, he was French in that one.
My money's still on Keanu Reeves.
Well, but he's older, I think. Keanu Reeves is a lot older than Idris Elba, I think.
You know what? I have the perfect answer for that. If Idris Elba fought Keanu Reeves, the winner will be the audience.
Yeah, like, absolutely. Well, Discovery Channel produced a documentary, Idris Elba Fighter, Elba's 12-month kickboxing and martial arts training. So did he just train for a movie, though? First professional kickboxing fight and win?
Yes, Sonic. He trained for Sonic 2.
No, he has the MMA win. He has legit, not MMA, kickboxing win, sorry. Kickboxing.
Wow.
Yeah. There's actually him training footage on YouTube. There's actually training footage.
Do you know what? I'd like to think that all of the action stars are, like, you know, really tough, like you see in the movies. But, I don't know, like, how old is Keanu Reeves now?
I think he's a lot older than Idris Elba.
I think using my math, I'll say he's very old.
Right. Hang on.
Okay, I found the reason he was training.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry?
Which is?
I'll put it in chat.
Okay, 1 second.
He's 59.
So first of all, though, I can tell you why, as much as I like Keanu Reeves, I don't think he is credible to beat Idris Elba in a fight. And it is simply put, here is your evidence. So, it's not happening. Like, Keanu Reeves with a beard, maybe. But Bill and Ted 3 ain't happening. All right,
what about Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves without a beard, and Idris Elba from Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
I didn't see that. Like, I just have to take your word.
Okay, well, Spirit of Vengeance is the one with Sam Neill. Sam something.
Sam something? I don't know a Sam something.
I know Sam Song.
No,
I do remember there's a weird scene in Ghost Rider where Idris Elba's like fell out of the road. And then there's the clip of him stuck in a tree, and the French national anthem plays for some reason. And everyone's like, why? Why? What's the reason for that? Although I laughed at it, even though that joke didn't make any sense, I laughed at it.
Right, apparently that was makeup and creepy hair. What? Makeup? What? Keanu Reeves' non-beard was makeup. That would be amazing.
No.
That would be brilliant. No, it can't be. It can't be. I think that's Jordan in the comments.
There's no way.
That would be brilliant, because remember in like the 1960s Batman, Cesar Romero played Joker, and he just had a mustache because he refused to shave it. Right. That look, you can all see the cavalry in here at the bottom of the screen.
They put makeup on the.
Look, so imagine like Superman when they were filming it, they literally should have just put some like wax in there, like some foundation or whatever, just covered it. That's what you do with these things.
Although I would say this though, Keanu Reeves with the beard, he's like Samson, the mythological Samson. With beard, he is super strong, unbeatable. Without the beard, oh no, he's an old man.
Yeah.
Going back, if I may, go back to it. I think what you were saying, David, about the Shadow the Hedgehog game, they kind of messed it up. They kind of got it wrong. They were either going too edgy or too clean with it. I hope they've got that nice balance with Shadow in the film, because every time he's in a game, they never really know what to do with him. You know, it's like, do they make him super edgy? Do they give him guns? Do they, does he have his motorcycle? But I'm hoping they've actually got Shadow right in this one.
Yeah, like I think there's a good chance because the first two movies were good.
All of them have like weird super speed, right?
Yeah. Like,
I can actually explain why they had super speed. That is a reference to Sonic Heroes, because like if they run together, like they're all fast in Sonic Heroes.
that's like I saw the Sonic cartoons, and in that one, like Knuckles don't move that fast. He can punch fast, but like other than that, he can't really run fast.
In the 2003 game Sonic Heroes, it's like a mechanic where if Sonic's in the lead, they run fast. If Knuckles is in the lead, they are strong. If Tails is in the lead, they all fly together.
Okay, so just checking in here, who has played the original Sonic the Hedgehog games, like Sega Genesis for our American friends, right? We've only got one American on the show. That is so rare. It's usually American heavy, right? But anyway, what I was going to say is, now, first of all, when you play like Sonic and Knuckles or Sonic 3 and Knuckles or whatever, Knuckles, Tails, Sonic, to me, they all seem exactly the same speed. And there is literally no reason to play as Sonic when either you can fly or glide. Knuckles is the one to play as, because he can climb walls. Oh my god. Okay, I guess that counts. Jesus.
Well, no, I did play it on the Mega Drive as well. I did have a Mega Drive.
No, it's all good, all good. But yeah, like, to me, they're all exactly the same speed. And they all do the exact same moves, but Sonic has less. So I've never quite got the appeal of playing as Sonic after they introduced the
iconic.
Because in Sonic and Knuckles, purple Knuckles when you get all the Chaos Emeralds.
What does purple Knuckles do? I don't think I've ever done that.
So that's
it's the same as it's like Super Sonic except purple.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay, so I need to expand on that because I know about that. In Sonic 3, if you get all the Chaos Emeralds, you get either Super Knuckles or Super Sonic. But if you combine Sonic 3 and Knuckles with the adapter thing, you can get 14 Emeralds, and then you can unlock Hyper Knuckles and Hyper Sonic.
Oh wow! I don't think I've ever done that. The craziest thing back in the day, if you got Sonic 3, you could save. If you got Sonic and Knuckles, you couldn't save unless you connected it to Sonic 3. Like what cheapskate what a cheapskate thing to do on the game there.
Right. Is it just me though, or did you find like playing as Sonic in Sonic and Knuckles was really easy, and then playing as Knuckles was like really difficult? Going like to as an adult, you kind of figure it out a lot easier, but as a kid, playing as Knuckles would probably be a lot more complicated because you want to use the climbing up the walls a lot more.
No, I just found
Knuckles
Dave.
a lot harder.
I would start at a level, I would jump and glide until I landed. Then I would jump again and glide until I landed, and that's how I played the entire game. It was probably absolutely just made it like no fun, but that's how I played it back in the day.
Okay, so I was at a interview at a convention they had for Sonic the Hedgehog about 10 years ago now, where they explained the reason they did that was because you would get through the game as Sonic, but you would explore the area as Knuckles.
I wouldn't even explore. I'd fly into a wall, and then I'd be like, oh, I can't climb this, and drop down, and then I'd find the next place where I could jump. Like, honestly, that's how I played everything.
That puts me in a mindset of... I said this in my... When I've started playing Resident Evil, as you guys know. I put it in the Geek Battle chat. I started playing Resident Evil, and I said, and it's like, well, how are you supposed to know these things? Like, back in the day, you didn't know these things unless you had, like, a guide in that. For someone like me, I get lost as shit the minute I get in without a guide. I'm like, where am I supposed to go? You know? it's like with Sonic, you know, Sonic, you're supposed to go really fast, but with Knuckles, if like you say, Dev, that the whole point of it was, oh yeah, we did it so, you know, players can explore the regions a bit more. Forget that, you know, time limit, just explore it. But how are you supposed to know that? Because you want to go fast.
Yeah. Right.
Although they kind of evolved it in Adventure when Sonic became the running fast level, and Knuckles had his own finding emeralds level, by himself.
But you know the weird thing, like David can like figure out all these puzzles without guides and everything, but he plays The Witcher 3 for like 5 seconds, and he's like, "Oh, too much stuff to do. I can't figure all this stuff."
I'm gonna find out. I've got my Nintendo Switch. As long as it's got charge in it, I'll by the end of the show, I'll tell you how long I played The Witcher 3 for. Because if the minutes are in double figures, then it'll surprise me. Right? Okay. So anyway, let's move on. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff to talk about. They've released a deleted scene from Deadpool and Wolverine. of Gambit getting away from the battle zone in like the apocalypse place. I forget the name of it now. We use and like so he's got like the cool eye thing, and it's Doctor Strange's portal. So where does Doctor Strange's portal? Does it just take him back to his home world from where he originally came from, or is this some? Do you think this is a strategy where Ryan Reynolds for the first couple of weeks like we should definitely get a Gambit movie, and now they release something that they still saw what the reception is. They're like, okay, now we're going to lay it on even further, and they're going to build up to an announcement. Dev.
There is a TVA comic announced that's going to bridge the MCU and the comic book universe, and Gambit's a character in it.
Ah. Okay.
I would say for Tatum, again, I enjoyed that character. Your hype was all real, guys. I give 100% appreciation for that. But I do want him to lose a bit of his cheeks.
Yeah, I agree. It comes out too far here. It just needs to be more in there.
You know what I realized he looks like?
He needs to trim down a lot.
I just realized you saying that like that. He looks like MODOK.
Dev, no one looks like MODOK. Let's never speak of MODOK again, because that looked like shit.
Dev might be right. If you cut
David, stop typing on your keyboard. I know what you're doing.
You're right.
But I think Dev is right. If you cut Gambit's head, he does look like MODOK. Just forget about it. That cheeks and that head, it's MODOK.
Stop it! He doesn't look like MODOK.
Oh gosh. Gerald, I forget. Like, if you haven't been on it for the last couple of weeks, have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet?
I have not yet.
Oh man, have we just given a massive spoiler?
Week, but I haven't. That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, well, Gambit's in it. Spoiler.
Oh,
right.
I knew about that.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know, Joe, but Wolverine's in it as well.
What?
Yeah. Oh my god.
But I'll say this.
Yeah.
The Gambit hype is real. It's very real. He's the funniest character in the whole film.
Yeah.
And do you know what though? Sometimes like a character that didn't get a fair shake. Now, obviously, his Channing Tatum's movie was cancelled. It didn't ever come out. There's something about these multiverse things where I feel like they haven't done good multiverse in MCU, except for Deadpool and Wolverine, except for Spider-Man. Yeah. And like when you think back to Spider-Man No Way Home, Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man in it, and yet he was the one that came from like the troubled thing in the past. Like the multiverse is a way to heal and redeem characters and actors that things didn't work out with before. And so
also with the Gambit thing, right? Like he was breaking the fourth wall, not like Deadpool, but he did. Like he mentioned, like everyone says, like I got to the void after this year, and Gambit was like, maybe I was born in the void. They're like implementing the Void is the Marvel project that never got lit. And like he was constantly doing that. He is like aware that about his movie that never got. So he is breaking the fourth wall, but in a subtle way. That is in a way fun. It's not like Deadpool or She-Hulk, but it's a fun way of doing that. I think you can get away with doing stuff like that with like movie characters that like never got their movies. You can do that. I think Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider, you can possibly do some stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think? Will we get a Gambit movie? Like, they haven't even actually announced an X-Men movie. Where we're at is obviously Deadpool and Wolverine was an X-Men movie, but like, again, this is no real spoiler, Gerald. At the end of it, they sort of show, like, during the end credits, they show some clips from all of the past Fox movies, and it almost felt like this was some sort of acknowledgement. Yeah, a goodbye, like a bookend to that chapter, because it didn't get an official one before this. In terms of X-Men going forward, obviously we had Patrick Stewart in Multiverse of Madness, and we get 3-second Kelsey Grammer Beast at the end of the Marvels. Where are they going with the X-Men? What is their plan? Because obviously it's not the new generation, it's all the old generation. It's not the first class generation of X-Men, but they are clearly still using some legacy actors. What's their plan? What are we going to get in terms of this? Will we get a complete recast, and that will get rid of Channing Tatum, like how we saw a different Mr. Fantastic than the one we're getting in a movie. Give us your thoughts, Dev.
We're probably getting a mishmash of like established like first class actors with cameos from the original 2000 actors and some brand new ones. Like
because I think for Magneto, it's better to have Fassbender than Ian McKellen.
Is it though?
They're going to
I mean, like Ian McKellen's old. That's what I'm saying. He's like super old.
Well, yeah, he's old, but this is why we need AI guys.
No.
Like they've been you kind of missed one as well, where they had Evan Peters in.
Oh yeah, good point.
WandaVision.
He was Ralph Boner though, Dev. You may have forgotten that fact.
Yeah, no, but he's got one more thing.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. So obviously, yeah, that is a good point. So he was, but he was. The idea was, well, what was that? Because he wasn't an alternative universe.
But everybody forgot one key detail in the first episode.
Yeah.
The agent from Ant-Man was there to protect someone in witness protection. So what if Ralph Boner was witness protection?
Do you know, I would love that. Except for, gosh, how long ago was that 2020?
That was 2020, yeah.
That, like, they need to pick up, like, we've said this before on the show, they need to actually start to connect some of these dots. Because, have they even announced Shang-Chi 2? Like, I think it's a thing that we've said before that they're not doing Eternals 2. But, like, Shang-Chi and the Eternals were the new, brand new phase characters. It's like, by the time they do Shang-Chi 2, who's excited for that? Because we've completely forgotten anything that happened with him. Go on, Dave.
I was going to say, I think Marvel has taken... This is just my theory, is that I think that Marvel's taken a step back and they're focusing on Secret War, which I think they've announced Secret War now, which is where their end goal is going to be. So maybe it's finding where all these different pieces will go to get everybody to Secret War. Like maybe Channing Tatum's Gambit will be in Secret War. We just don't know. You know, I think that's where they're going, and just figuring out where everything goes from there. Because I think we can all agree that Phase 4 was a mess, or is a mess. You know, because everything's all scattered all over the place, and nothing really connects to the next thing.
Gerald, you found Shang-Chi's to film in 2025.
Yeah, so there was something that popped up about a trailer, and they say it's a fake trailer, but the movie will begin its filming in 25.
Well, they need to, because when was that 2021?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like it's longer between these sequels than you think of the original, like the Infinity Saga. We got from like Iron Man, then there was Hulk, then there was Iron Man 2. We're straight in there. Like, we got the first 6
that's
films.
11 years though.
Sorry?
It took 11 years to do the entire thing, didn't it?
Oh, I know, but what I mean is that we got Iron Man, then there was Hulk, then there was Iron Man 2. Then when we got past Avengers... Oh, hang on a second, guys. Oh, shit, it's Nick!
Oh, sorry, guys, I've got to go now. Goodbye.
Oh, jeez, right. Okay, so, hello, Nick, how you doing?
He showed up 15 minutes earlier than I thought he would.
Yeah.
Oh shit, how late am I?
Like 48 minutes, which is actually quite early for you. Now, Nick, we were just saying, just to catch you up here, we were just saying about, like, it's a long time in between some of the Marvel films, like Shang-Chi, to whenever they're going to start filming Shang-Chi 2, if they ever do an Eternals 2, etc. But, like, so we got through the first 6 films, I guess the first phase where we got to the Avengers, and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't, like, the very next film Iron Man 3?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so it's like, so then that was his trilogy done. And they'd obviously done one Captain America in Phase 1. They got another one before the next Avengers movie. and then the third one came out, I guess, before Infinity War. So they sort of like, there'll be one Captain America, one Thor per phase. But at the moment, if they had Phase 4 and now we're on Phase 5, it's like we need to see some of these characters come back.
Like, now that you've made that parallel, I can actually fully see the problem between then and now. Basically, then, the connections were added on at the end, or like sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Well, this Phase 4 is like this whole written out chapter, which is all these like little bits made up together. And plus, some of the big exposition points were made in movies that were performed so bad that they'll be cancelled.
Can you give me an example? What big point? Like Kang, I guess. But
Doctor Strange.
So,
Doctor Strange.
The Shang-Chi, the Wong Abomination Shang-Chi group were in She-Hulk.
Ah, yeah.
And we're never going to another She-Hulk, so they don't know where they're going to put that group in.
Okay, will She-Hulk be in the Avengers, though?
We're not getting Ally McBeal meets the MCU?
Apparently not.
So, say that again, Dave?
Oh, no. Anyway.
But guys, okay, so will we, in Avengers, because look, Hulk, because of the difficulties with Universal Pictures, Universal Studios, has never had his own movie again, yet he's popped up throughout. Will we get She-Hulk, and will we get any of the Eternals characters in the Avengers? Because if they're in it, and look what we just said about Channing Tatum and Andrew Garfield, if they put them in it and do them right, it will turn the public's opinion to want to see these characters again.
I just, to me, the Eternals, I don't even know why they made that movie to begin with.
No.
It just has, it's not characters that people know, like your average movie goer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, that's a head scratcher. She-Hulk, I could see them potentially incorporated in, but at the same time, it could be one of those that they just had as the TV show, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree. Dave?
I was going to say, like, following what you said, Gerald, like, no one really knows the Eternals. It's like when they introduced Moon Knight, you know, it's like, if you're a long-time comic fan, you know who Moon Knight is. You know his 3 personalities, you know his powers, you know that. And when they create a TV show for, like, the everyday audience who have no idea who this character is unless they Google it, because Google is the greatest search engine in the world, unless you Google it, you have no idea. So this is your introduction to this character or these characters. Mm-hmm. So if they're done in a respectful and in a right way, you're going to love them.
Yeah.
But at the same point, if you put them in a shitty project like what they did in Doctor Strange with America Chavez, if you introduce them that way, no one's going to be interested in this character. No one wants to see where they go from this point forward.
Yeah, Dev?
Well, my prediction is they're going to get they're definitely going to get Cersei in it, because Cersei was a core Avenger, and the actress for Cersei herself was contracted for multiple movies, and they're probably going to get Icarus as well.
They're going to get Cersei Lannister in the Avengers movie?
No, they're going to get the other person from they're going to get the other guy from Game of Thrones, the Black Knight.
Jon Snow.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I also think, like, with Shang-Chi, right? He was kind of meant to be like a spy, like the teen character in a weird sense. I would say he's not iconic enough. Like what Dave said, like, if you're a comic fan, you probably know it. But other than that, no one knows this. But I'm not saying you can't introduce new characters that can,
Yeah, I mean, arguably. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I think he's just not, he doesn't have, like, a cool costume. He doesn't have, like, a cool power like that.
You know who else doesn't have a cool costume?
Batman.
No, it's not that cool. It's not that cool, okay? It's not that cool.
No. Those are the worst supers you can make. He has amazing powers and a cool costume.
Who are we talking about here?
He has rings. He has rings. Okay, unless he does Kung Fu Hustle with those rings. He's not cool.
He does.
Yes, but do you know who else gets
Have you
power-ups
seen
and
the movie?
rings? Sonic the freaking Hedgehog!
I was gonna say the same thing.
Again, like I'm
Green
gonna
Lantern.
go this.
Green Lantern, power rings, exactly!
I would say
Power
this.
Rangers.
Remember,
I would say this.
Deadpool, Deadpool
Instead of
Green
this,
Lantern at the end of Deadpool 2.
Oh,
I'm
God.
saying this. Instead of going with Shang-Chi, introduce the Monkey King to the Marvel Universe.
Is
Like
there-
a Thor character.
Is that a Marvel character?
So there is a monkey character in DC, I believe. I think he's called
Hit
Monkey
Monkey?
Boy.
Is
I
it
know,
Hit
Hit-
Monkey?
Hit- I
in
think
Marvel?
Monkey's in Marvel, and
I thought
actually
you were
there's an
thinking
animated
Detective
show,
Chimp.
I think on Netflix. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Hit
fun.
Monkey, like
Yeah,
Hitman.
Yeah,
I just
not that
watched
monkey.
it.
No, not
Hit
that
Monkey.
monkey. Go,
Yes.
go with the Monkey King. He has like Thor-like powers. He's an actual famous, iconic
You know who
character.
they have to introduce in the Marvel movies? Gleek.
Yes.
You know who Gleek is? You know who Gleek is?
No,
Yeah,
it's
they're
not-
fans.
that's
They're
not
fans
Marvel,
of the show.
that's
They're like super fans
DC,
of the
isn't
show
it?
Glee.
DC.
Yeah, it's DC.
Oh,
Gleek
From
was
Wonder
in the
Twins.
CW one.
Yeah.
No, he was.
Yes, he was. He made a cameo.
No,
The Flash.
Gorilla Groot was.
Okay, I'm gonna find it if
No,
he's in Flash.
Gleek showed as well.
Flash.
Yeah, we have to say that Detective Chimp is the best ape character in comics.
Oh wait, did you actually see it? 'Cause the only thing I've got. Who is Gleek? Was it just like that you
No,
saw
they
his cage?
show like an empty cage. with
Oh my god.
him escaping.
Oh, I am all for. I just looked up Hit Monkey. It's not a character I know. Let me show you what I got here. If this is a Marvel character, I want to see this pop up. I don't know where it
cool.
took from.
I mean,
Look,
That
it's
looks
saying-
so
hang on. Look at this. There is Deadpool. Gleek would absolutely fit into a Deadpool movie. I'm sure it'd
Hit
fit
Monkey's
into
different, though.
Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
yeah, Hit Monkey
Also,
was
David,
on Hulu.
Google
It
the
says.
Monkey King.
But is Monkey King Marvel?
No.
No,
No, then I'm
he's,
done with
I mean,
Monkey
he's a
King.
literature character.
Yeah.
He's a literature character, but again, he's a really powerful, iconic character.
Okay, I'll have to learn who the Monkey King is. Right.
I want that to be Squirrel Girl in the Marvel Universe.
Okay, so
I would agree with that,
I
Nick.
can talk about that. Go on, Dave.
I was going to say, I agree with Nick on this because then Squirrel Girl can be the reason that Doctor Doom
So-
is defeated.
So I can tell you this. I can tell you something amazing, right? There was a Squirrel Girl show filmed but cancelled,
Why?
and there's actual set costumes. There's people in costumes, and there's pictures with the set costumes as well.
There's your fact for you.
Yeah.
Let me try to find it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
see if you
yeah.
can find it.
I think Dev is right. They should have Squirrel Girl only to beat Doctor Doom because Doctor Doom is afraid of squirrels.
Well, Squirrel Girl.
Again, you're not making this shit up.
She's the
Squirrel Girl, Omega Mutant, and Omega Level Mutant also.
she's the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. She even beat Galactus. She beats everybody.
Imagine this: you bring in Robert Downey Jr. with $100 million to beat Doctor Who, and he gets beaten by Squirrel
Did you
Girl.
guys
How
know who?
awesome would that be?
Did you just say
Yeah.
Doctor Who,
It
Cap?
definitely sounded like that.
Yeah, Doctor Who.
Said,
The only Doctor Who that's a supervillain was in a King Kong cartoon that was made in Japan.
No, there was another
What?
Doctor Who. There was a supervillain, and he was purple. Jessica Jones.
Thanos?
That's David Tennant, Dev. That's not the same
That's still Doctor
character.
Who.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
not
guys,
the Doctor.
so a couple of things. First of all, jumping back to something we said like a couple of minutes ago, that like Shang-Chi, Eternals, these characters weren't known. But I would say arguably, people like Iron Man, starting this whole franchise with Iron Man, was kind of starting scraping the barrel. Like,
Yeah.
no one knew
Well, yeah,
who
but
Iron
look
Man
at
was.
I
compared
would
to
agree with David on that
Spider-Man.
one because Iron Man.
Look, I
I-
would say Captain America and Thor were much more famous characters, and I think the difference
Yeah.
between them is that they had both of those characters had sort of a bit like, aren't they a bit cheesy, a bit stupid kind of perception over them. Hulk was their biggest thing, but obviously they started with Iron Man, going to do all this team up stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd say no one really knew who they were. so that they can launch big things out. And like Ant-Man, I think people knew the name Ant-Man more than what people actually really engaged with Ant-Man. But go ahead. Anyway.
Hold on, I have a comment on Ant-Man really quickly before we give Dave, MC, who wants to speak, clearly. But the reason why they cast Ant-Man is because there's nobody else that could be Ant-Man other than Paul Rudd.
I'll do it.
Like, and maybe Dave Plastansky? Maybe.
Look. If you're not sure if I can play Ant-Man, like, I'll say this to any of the viewers out there. I'll say it to all of you guys, right? Hold up your hand right now. Go for it. And then hold it near me on your screen. Look how small I am. I can absolutely play Ant-Man. There you go. That's my audition. Okay, but anyway, let's come back seriously. Gerald, you had thoughts on this, I'm sure.
So I was going to say, I was typing this in. I think one of the reasons why some of those were successful, so like Guardians, Ant-Man, the first one, and Deadpool especially, is because they sort of made fun of themselves or light of themselves. They weren't like your traditional superhero movie. They weren't really dark. They were sort of like, Guardians definitely embraced the cheeseball thing with the 70s, 80s rock. And they like they were say what?
I have 3 words to say about Guardians. Dance off, bro.
So I mean, that's part of the thing. Like I agree. Iron Man to me was an odd one, but again, like they had sold off or
But look at Iron Man.
rented out their characters.
Yeah.
So that they had very limited.
They didn't go with like the old Iron Man with like a tin bobble suit. They went like a cool Iron Man. They had a skull Iron Man. Nobody has seen that before.
Yeah, it had the right filmmaker.
Like, that's cool.
Right?
Sorry, what thing?
It had the right director, basically. Mm-hmm. I think that's why everything worked.
And also the coolness factor. There are some things are just like, I want that. Like, you look at Iron Man, I want the toy, I want the shitty action, I want everything from this.
Well, and like Rocket Raccoon, I mean, and then I think like part of it is the characters and then the actors or voices that play them. Yeah. So like Rocket Raccoon, again, the voice, incredible. Deadpool, again, like those, it's almost like they are the character type thing.
Ryan Reynolds not playing Deadpool, Deadpool playing Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, Dave, you had got your hand up for ages. I felt bad, so I felt we should.
It's alright. Nick, shut up! I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna go now. Bye.
I'm really sorry.
Rocky Raccoon is the Beatles song, not a Marvel's character. Go.
Go on, Dave. Go on. What were you going to say?
No, it's okay. You guys can all talk. That's fine. I was going to say that the thing with Iron Man was that he wasn't. I would say he wasn't as popular in his comic book incarnation because, like Cap said, he was wearing, the iron suit that had the rounded head and all that. And I think what made him popular was Robert Downey Jr.'s charisma into the character, and David said it is had a great show screenwriter for it, so it made more for the character, and that's what made him more popular. So characters like that are, and Spider-Man as well. Like when Stan Lee created Spider-Man, they told him, "No, it's never going to work. It's never going to work." And when he came out, everyone seemed to love him. But now it seems that Marvel is actually scraping the barrel, trying to find characters. Like, because I know that characters like Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel have been rebooted so many times, all to receive failure, because no one really likes the characters as the way they are. I'm speaking from myself. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I think
I think it's threefold with that, because it's threefold. One is again, like you mentioned with Robert Downey Jr., he is Iron Man. He is Tony Stark. He just has that connection with the character. So part of it is great characters, great actors and then also the writing. They meld them together, and some of them they try and force the issue. And I suspect, I don't mind. Was it Brie Larson as Captain Marvel? But it's not a character I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I want to go see that. But it's it's sort of the.
Why is Cap eating your head?
No, I agree. And I think a big problem.
Also,
oh, go ahead, Cap.
Also, I would come as an international crowd where I didn't know who Robert Downey Jr. was. I was probably a kid when Iron Man came out. I didn't know anything, but I thought this looked cool. Okay? Yeah. I wanted this. Okay? But as a kid, if I see this, I'm like, eh? I mean, it's not Jackie Chan, so I don't care. Okay?
So, I can actually explain this as well. I think the reason Iron Man hit it off was because, it was a great actor. And plus, they did exactly what Power Rangers did 20 years ago. Back 20 years ago, there was a dinosaur boom 20 years ago. And they capitalized on that. Iron Man capitalized on the robot boom of the 2008s.
Well, like Transformers.
Again,
yeah.
You gotta have that cool factor. And again, you can't. It's the thing. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but unfortunately, everybody does that. Okay.
Well, expanding on what you said there, Cap, with seeing Iron Man, you think, oh, it's like a sci-fi, it's a space movie, or no, it's a superhero movie. But you see something like Shang-Chi. What separates it from dare I say, like a generic martial arts movie? What makes it a Marvel movie as opposed to something like, you've got Iron Fist, which has that mystical element to it, but it's also it plays in the universe. But Shang-Chi, when you see the film, what separates? What makes it part of the MCU apart from the logo that says Marvel on it?
Oh, but why shouldn't it? Because what makes the Black Widow movie, or what would make Hawkeye? Not every character has to have amazing superpowers.
That's why they failed, David. No one cared about Hawkeye. No one watched Black Widow.
How dare you disrespect the name of Hawkeye?
Captain, shut your trash mouth.
But Captain America barely has any powers either. Come on,
he's
basically what I mean is things like Captain America and Black Widow, they're characters enough that can carry the film, but you can see that they're somewhat tied into the universe that was created around it. But what makes Shang-Chi part of this world? I keep making this point. They've made their universe way too big by adding so many characters into it, but having no cohesion to it. There's nothing keeping it together. So you're going off in these different directions, but not staying in the core world of it.
I think the problem there is that they've got an expanding cinematic universe, because imagine for the first few years of it, first 6-7 years, it's every couple of years we put out an Iron Man film and it does great. And now we haven't had an Iron Man film since 2013. It's well, why don't you make... Because there's how across the whole time of the MCU, we've had 3 or 4 different Batmen in different movies. It's well, why don't you make another Iron Man movie? It's well, Robert Downey Jr. doesn't want to do it anymore. The multiverse was their way out of this problem, to bring in different variations of the same characters, so that they could refresh all of these characters, and they haven't done it.
Hold on. Okay, so hold on. I have a point to make. Did you say that Batman was in the MCU?
What?
No.
I thought you said Batman was in the MCU.
No, he said...
No, during the entire time of
movies,
when the MCU first started, it was superhero films are cool again because Batman Begins and then The Dark Knight. Right. Then we got The Dark Knight Rises, then we got Batman v Superman, then we got Batterson, and we got Michael Keaton back. We've literally had 4 different Batmans, and it's DC, because their failed experiment with the shared universe situation, which they're now going to try again, it's they could keep putting out, Batman always does well, let's put out a new Batman. Oh, this Batman isn't well received, let's just put out a different Batman. Oh, we'll try both Batman.
But it all really comes down to...
Iron Man. They don't have
it all comes down really to writing and storytelling within that world, because their problem is, as I said, they created this big world, but now they're doing a thing where, oh, everything has to be tied together. Having the multiverse
Exactly.
thing, we have to have this person connected with this. And what Spider-Man got right is that they said, oh, we've brought in people that know Peter Parker as Spider-Man. And when they brought in Toby and Andrew back, we had no idea that was going to, well, there were things on the internet, oh, we know it's going to happen. Yeah, they have to bring back Toby and Andrew to see all these characters. But it made sense in the story because we thought, we only the villains who know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, only they know that we only know the villains are there. And in Doctor Strange, it didn't work. Why didn't it work in Doctor Strange as opposed to where it worked in something like Spider-Man and in Deadpool? Why did it work there and not in Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange was shit.
Because Doctor Strange had
Because it was shit. Well, look, because they didn't do the multiverse in the film called they teased it with Spider-Man. They gave it they gave us all the Sony stuff with Spider-Man, but they teased us with WandaVision, and they gave us a little something with Loki. But when it came to the film that got multiverse in the title, they brought back Patrick Stewart and broke his neck. They brought in where did Black Bolt even come from? A show that no one ever watched it.
That no one cares about.
Everyone had to look it up on the internet to find out.
Okay, Dev is the only one who watched it. That's why it failed.
Right, and Dev is always the first one to see everything, and sometimes he's the only one to see. Dev is like the ultimate supporter. He was there for Borderlands. He was there for Black Bolt, but. And then they got and here's Mr. Fantastic, the debut of the Fantastic Four in the MCU, and then they kill him. And a little bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, they've done it again. So what is Marvel's issue? When they did the What If series, they made Tony Stark Kenny in every episode, and it just waters down the mythos of Iron Man.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got the Fantastic Four twice before the Fantastic Four movie, and they killed them both.
To me,
oh my God! They killed Iron Man! You bastards!
The multiverse. To me, it's an extremely weak way of trying to reset things because you have poor writers. That's the long and short of it.
Yeah.
And if they weren't so fixated on incorporating all of these titles and all of it into the same shared universe, I don't think they would have run into the massive amount of challenges and problems they have. Because part of it goes back to where you've talked about movies in the past where they tease something and then it never comes to happen. It's well, you had a connection there, you wanted to link it. And part of it is if you have great characters, which again, the early phases they did, people were really into it, that's why it went well. But then now they're putting these other characters and trying to get them in to see if they'll stick, and they're not sticking. So then it sort of blows up the shared universe and the phase that you're doing.
What I think
that's the thing with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange still hasn't had a sequel. He appeared in the phase starting of the Marvel thing, but he didn't have a sequel. Everyone
that's coming. That's still coming.
Too. Instead, we got a new character that they were promoting. It was why are you promoting this guy? I don't care. I came for Doctor Strange. Promote him.
Who were they promoting in Doctor Strange?
America Chavez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, that was one of the things with Phase 4 and Phase 5. There's been a load of bait and switch kind of things, red herrings, where, so like you say, Doctor Strange was the America Chavez thing. Hawkeye was the Hawkeye Junior girl story.
Black Panther 2 was Ironheart.
Well, yeah, exactly. Every single thing, they're just trying...
Hold on. I have a point to make.
No, Nick! Nick, don't time for your point.
Okay, go on.
Black Panther 2 was Ironheart because of what happened to Chadwick Boseman. You gotta take that into consideration.
Well, yeah, but what? Look at Shuri. She didn't become Black Panther until the last half hour.
Well, yeah, I have issues with that movie, and I'll be happy to discuss them.
Ironheart. Sorry.
They've done it over and over again, where they just kind of the Black Widow movie was just saying up, oh, you have Yelena as your sister. This is really her movie. It's no, we've come to see Scarlett Johansson.
Here's the thing.
My favorite joke in that movie was the guy thought it was with a superhero landing. I'm gonna try it now. Oh shit, this is super comfortable.
It's amazing how that quote became true. Right, anyway. Right. Deb.
Yeah.
The annoying thing is, that's the only thing they've done consistently. The consistency is building up Young Avengers.
Oh my god,
They've
yeah.
introduced they've introduced
And all of them
every
suck.
show. They all suck, but at least it's consistent. It's the one thing they got done correctly, as opposed to Blade showing up at the end of the Eternals, like Wong and Shang-Chi appearing at the end of She-Hulk, and Abomination joining them for some reason.
Shang-Chi was at the end of She-Hulk.
Yep.
Wow, I completely blocked that out of my memory.
Wow! Oh, wow! No one cares.
They go through the portal at the end of She-Hulk. They go through the portal.
Wow.
From the other side, you can see the end of Shang-Chi when they're going through the portal into the restaurant.
Do you know?
And nobody cared but me.
Oh, good quote.
So, one thing that Marvel should do is they should have like Daredevil and Ironheart and Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Luke Cage.
Just F off back to Netflix. Right.
Iron Fist got fuck
Like
off.
the Netflix
Yeah, I would say like that show.
should be like doing the Hell's Kitchen thing. The Avengers should be doing like the space thing, the cosmic level thing, and like the Magicians, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, Wanda,
Yeah.
Vision to a lesser point, should be doing like the mystical realm, and they should do it like pick whatever flavor you want, but not have them all be like. And then once every 10 years, we'll do a giant crossover, but then we'll have everybody doing their own, like all the individual teams doing their own thing.
Nick, I have bad news for you. It's called Secret Wars.
So, yeah.
CW.
But okay, so guys, what I was going to say on this is what I think they should have done, and it's not too late for them to build things back up, and people will look, well, that wasn't so good, you know, and then they course corrected. But what they should have done after Infinity War, where they have now locked out, they've got the Fantastic Four, they've got the X-Men, and yeah, they may have been things that were already in motion since before they got them. They should have concentrated on, right, if the next thing we're going to do is start to introduce the multiverse, then what we need to get is, like, some film. So say Steve Rogers is out, say Black Widow's going to have her movie and then be out, Iron Man's out, and they think that we need to build up the new team, then what we needed is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. If that was going to be Captain America 4, that should have been a movie. And it should have been, this is the movie where, you know, this character, Falcon, is going to become Captain America. Boom, done in one, and then we'll understand it. Because we are so far removed from Endgame, and we've seen him as Captain America for 2 minutes at the end of that series. They needed to do WandaVision. Now, look, I get that they could do these things, but if Wanda was bowing out because they were going to make her a villain, then do that. But we should have had a Vision movie. They needed to, and look, they did a Thor 4 rather, right? And they needed to rely on what characters do we still have, just to keep everyone say, hey, there's still stuff that's familiar. And if that's Vision, if that's Thor, if that's Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, then use those as your anchors, and along the way, do the end credit scenes, which, even if it was going to take them years before they could actually do their own X-Men or Fantastic Four, you could start inserting them into the end credit scene of being like, oh shit, someone's a mutant, which they put at the very end of Ms. Marvel and then didn't mention at all in the Marvels, right? Someone's a mutant. And they could put in just about like, oh, this thing, and Doom is coming and stuff like that. And then by now they should have already had the first film where it's suddenly like, here's Doctor Doom and he's doing whatever. And then from that, it's like, the only one who can truly stop Doctor Doom from coming back is the Fantastic Four, and you bring them in Phase 5. And then in Phase 5, you have the first X-Men mutant film, and they would have all been in progress by now. But instead, they did experiments with the Eternals, And Shang-Chi, fair enough, but all of the stuff they've done on Disney Plus, Moon Knight and stuff like this has all led to nothing. Anyway, go on, Dev.
Here's the thing, though. The reason why we have all these shows instead of movies is because the mouse needs his cut.
Yeah. Disney Plus.
Yeah, I would like to, recently, did you get the controversy where there was a lawsuit of but again, a sad event, but apparently you cannot file a lawsuit against Disneyland because you signed up for Disney Plus.
Yeah, I heard this story.
Wait, what?
Do you want to explain it, Cap, or do you want...
David. Look this up right now.
All right, here we go. So, this is going off verbatim of what my wife told me, because she told me this story. So someone had an allergic reaction to some food that they ate in one of the Disney restaurants after repeatedly telling them that this person is allergic to food. And this person tragically passed away.
Yeah.
They tried suing the park to say, look, you come
only
away.
50,000, by the way, for only 50,000. Not a lot of money.
Not 50,000. So he sued him for money for this, and the Disney lawyers, they said, you cannot sue us because you used up your trial period for Disney Plus. And I'm like, the two are not related.
Yeah, they were trying to argue. They were trying to argue that they couldn't sue them in the courts and they had to go through arbitration because they had done a trial. They didn't even sign up for regular Disney Plus, but because they signed up for the 1 month trial, like 4 years ago.
That's like giving me a white feather for not fighting in World War II. I wasn't even born in that time. You know?
Wait, so someone died,
Yes.
and they can only sue if they were signed up to Disney Plus.
No. Because they signed up to it.
Yeah, so the lady died from allergic reaction to food, and the lawyers on Disney. So then the family, the husband, brought a lawsuit against Disney, the park, and the Disney lawyers turned around and said, "No, you can't sue us because you signed up, or you accepted the terms of the trial period of Disney Plus, and in there's a clause that says anything that you bring against us has to be done through."
Arbitration.
Wait a second. So because I've signed up to Disney Plus, I can never sue Disney.
Yeah.
That's what they were trying to argue. They backed off.
That's under the terms and
That's
conditions.
incredible.
That is under the terms and conditions. That's why we need to
That is a pile of bullplop.
5 years ago, this was a South Park storyline.
Wow.
Where Kyle agreed to the terms and conditions, and Apple could do whatever they wanted with him, so they turned him to human centipede.
Yeah.
I need my money!
You know, it's an interesting point, which we could perhaps get into a little bit. Perhaps it's something for like a different discussion. But I'll share a slight personal story. A few years ago, I read for a film, and the terms and conditions around it, when they emailed me, weren't very clear. And it was like, and it literally had in the email, by replying to this email, you agree to such and such. And I was like, well, I can't even discuss it with you now, because by replying to it, the terms you've laid out. So I didn't reply, and eventually I got a phone call from them. It was like, we never heard back from you. And I was like, well, I didn't agree to your terms, and you said by applying, and I can't agree to that, and I didn't work on it, but because it was ridiculous terms. But the amount, like this actually does bring up something which let me quickly see if I can find this story. You might have heard about stuff to do with, well, there's been a lot of stuff over the last couple of years about why we had like the writer's strike, actor's strike, about like using digital AI replicas of people so that they don't have to hire extras again. And let me see if I can quickly find this, because I read it earlier today. So, Screen Actors Guild in America, SAG-AFTRA, I don't know what the AFTRA stands for, to be honest, right? Screen Actors Guild, whatever. It says, they're currently on strike against the major video game companies following negotiations stalling over AI provisions. And it says this is separate from a push for the more extreme No Fakes Act, which makes it unlawful to create a digital replica of anyone, performer or person, without their consent. And if I can just spot this one other sentence, It says the bill would require that rights for an AI replica must be explicitly bargained for, and the contract must include a reasonably specific description of the eventual use, and contracts without such language would be unenforceable. So it's such a... I've said a lot about AI in the past, and I think there's a lot of benefits. There's obviously some downsides to it as well. But there has to be the provision where they can't just have you on contracts where something's in some terms and conditions that no one ever reads, and that means that we can do this forever. Especially, this is the most ridiculous one I've ever heard, that by signing up to Disney Plus you can never sue Disney. That's unenforceable entirely.
There's also there's also a meme that says like, read the terms and conditions for Disney Plus. Mickey Mouse already may have your soul.
Yeah, well, it does.
But the stupid part of the story is that the two are completely unrelated. So what does me signing up to Disney Plus have to do with me going and eating in a restaurant?
No, but fun fact,
and you know the weird thing, like in the restaurant was not technically owned by Disney. Their legal defense could have been like that the restaurant is not technically owned by us. It's another franchise on Disney part. So they're like, yeah, we are not responsible. But instead of that, they're like, no, you signed up for Disney Plus. You can't sue us.
Well, I will share a quick story because because you guys know I've worked with Disney. I will happily say it. So they kept trying to get me to do something at work that wasn't specified in my contract. Okay, and I told them.
How much did you want the role, though, Dave? How much did you want the role?
So basically, pretty much, so they came to me and said, right, you have to do this. It's in your contract. You have to do this. And I literally had it. I always carry it in my bag in case of situations. I throw it on the table and went, show me where it says that, because I've read it. Show me where it says that, and they went, have a good day, and they let me go.
There you go. It's just crazy
Here's the thing
with these
with
things.
the contracts, right?
Yeah.
I could literally write anything I want, and it would still apply. Like, it doesn't have to be... I could literally write a contract about Geek Battle, and it would apply at a Improv if I wanted to.
Well, that's the thing, Dave, because I've already signed the contract for Geek Battle, which one of the clauses is I have to praise David every 10 minutes. Love you, Dave.
I need it. Look, it's a need, right? Yeah.
But ironically,
you guys didn't sign it? How dare you?
This was just between...
Ironically, Dave praises himself because he's also David.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so I signed my contract, and I assumed it applied to all Davids, so, you know, I think I was covered there.
Wait, it didn't?
No.
But I would say this, I'm not really sure if this is the best way to do it, but like whenever you get like, now you get like long terms of condition, copy that and paste it under ChatGPT and tell it, dumb it down for me so I can understand it in short versions.
We can do that, and it just says, don't do shit.
Yeah.
And it also says, don't panic.
Yeah.
But by using ChatGPT, you already agreed to stuff that you don't even know you agreed to.
That's also a thing.
So is it just a never-ending cycle of agreeing to things that you never knew you were agreeing to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but like the con was in, guys. Like whenever you sign up, the terms and condition is like so many pages and so many tiny letters written in legal jargon, and you're like, I don't get. You know what? It's probably fine. Confirm.
Yeah, I find some of these movie things where you hear about someone was going to play this part, but then they were being held up. And so obviously, like, you know, I don't know if I can bring it up on the screen at all, but like where we've got Henry Cavill, if I press screen share actually,
What did you say?
No, I said it, so like this is the whole point. So let's bring up Shang-Chi and it should hopefully, so there we see the mustache of Henry Cavill, right? Now, he was contracted to still do the reshoots, but like Sony or whoever was making Mission Impossible were like, no, you're currently making this, and they couldn't make him remove the mustache. And the amount of stuff where it's like, this actor is like, oh, I didn't want to do this movie, but I was on a 3-picture deal, and so that's why I sort of like phoned it in. If you've got an actor who doesn't want to do a movie, recast them. You know, it's crazy holding people like, well, you've signed up to do this. If they're trying to hold you for more money, then you could enforce, well, look, you want to do the movie, I forgot what I was going to say. We're gonna keep you to it, and then we'll pay you. But if it's literally someone saying, I don't want to do the movie, like, don't force someone into it. Right.
Well, but
yeah.
then, I mean, that's sort of the nature of the beast, sadly, of contracts in entertainment. Because if you look at album sales, especially the 80s and 90s in particular, completely. I mean, like Prince, he was locked into the deals, I think, with Columbia or Warner Brothers, and that's why he basically is like, okay, I'll do this, and then I'll come up with my new name and make it so I can still do music that I want to do instead of playing around with that. So if you listen, especially some artists, you'll have like peaks and valleys, and it typically relates to their contracts with the record companies, and they do like a really crappy 2 or 3 at the end.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I'm out of here. I'm so screwed over because I signed it early, and yeah. So.
Oh, there you go. Go on, Cap, go ahead, but we're going to have to begin to wrap up in a moment.
But I'll say this, like, with the contract things and stuff, with, like, other than YouTube, like, the record labels, albums, and stuff like that, they have so much better deal than individual creators, where they can get a lot of the revenue that's technically owned to them. Like, individual creators need to own more of the stuff because they're the ones creating it. But the albums and stuff get more of the percentage than individual creators who do stuff. But on YouTube, it's a fair game. YouTube allows the same percentage for everyone. But, again, the album covers and stuff like that get more coverage because, they have a better deal.
Yeah. Right, guys, on that, we'll begin to wrap things up. Nick, you came on a little while ago. I knew you'd got a topic of discussion for us, so let's save that for next time.
Sounds good.
Yeah, good plan. Right, but let's do our outros round. If there's any geeky recommendations you've got for people this week, then let's go for it. Starting with Dave, where can people find you?
You can find me here on Geek Battle and on Xstreamed Improv. You can check out my YouTube channel, Dave MC Gaming, where I do Let's Plays, I do Star Wars The Old Republic footage, and we have the Magical Adventures of Misty and Mork, which take place every Friday. And check out my series on Monday, the 2nd of September. We do the Outlast DLC Whistleblower, followed by Resident Evil, hopefully starting October, leading up towards Halloween. And, yeah. What?
Resident Evil 6.
No, Resident Evil, the first one, Cap. The big one.
The first one, you say? The first one from 2002?
Yes.
Oh. Right, Nick, where can the people find you?
Here in my house, running around somewhere in Virginia, or on Twitter, I guess would be the easiest way, at NSEV on Twitter, or X, but I'm not going to call it X. Other than the last name,
Just did! Right, okay, Dev.
Hi, you can find me on TikTok and Twitch on the name F3BAT. And my geek recommendation of the week is Bel Air, the serious reboot of Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Is it good? What is that even on?
It's on.
It's not a comedy, right? It's not a
No,
comedy.
it's not a comedy. No, it's not a comedy.
It's serious drama. I'm not sure when it's on, but it's had cameos from multiple original cast members so far.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's inspired by an SNL sketch. SNL sketch where they did like a parody of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, where it's like problem with gang stuff, and like again, it's a parody
it's
of
really
the Fresh Prince.
Serious drama type, not comedy at all. There are comedic elements, but it's really good. I think it's really good.
Wow, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew this was a thing, but literally, I've never come across it, so I don't know where it airs in the UK. But I've never come across it. Okay, Gerald.
Hopefully more on Geek Battle and sometimes on Xstreamed Improv. And then I don't check it too often, but Instagram at Gerald Geek. My recommendation is actually something that we talked about, and I looked and saw where you can see it. Hit Monkey. So it was on Hulu. It looks like for right now, season 2 will be coming up on Disney Plus for UK and Ireland on September 9th.
Amazing.
So I don't know if season 1 is already there, but check it out. It is extremely violent. It's pretty good. It does have some connections to Deadpool. There's actually a little toy set that has both Deadpool and Hitmonkey in white suits. So there you go.
Awesome, thanks for that tip. Cap.
You can find me on Sodneys, Rising and Dance. I throw myself in the bucket and I work with puppets. And recently there's a video of like Spider-Man in high school versus Batman in high school. Check that show out. And my geeky recommendation is watch the movie poster that I have on, the Forbidden Kingdom. Now that's a fucking cool Chinese movie. Like I want films like that in the Marvels. So go watch that.
Let's not do that.
Let's not take the advice of someone who thinks Resident Evil 6 is a great game.
Exactly.
It is!
Yes.
It is!
Yes, Dave. Right, guys. For me, my name is Dave Postansky. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dave Postansky, spelled Pustansky. Do get a copy of my book, The Extreme Improv Big Book of Improv Games, The Improviser's Bucket List, and the Ultimate Guide to Creating Virtual Theatre. And also get Sonic Gems Collection, or Mega Collection, I think that was. My geeky recommendation, if it's about to come out, everyone should watch Lord of the Rings of Power, because I'm going to watch it just so we can talk about it on the show. Literally the only reason I'm going to check it out. You know, I don't like doing... I don't like, guys, the other thing I'll say is I don't like doing pre-announcement announcements, but I've literally been working for a very long time to do big revamps to all of the shows, and I think we're within a week or two of Geek Battle like 3.0 or 2.0 or whatever it may be. So that will be exciting. There's gonna be a lot of developments for the show. So new formats, new looks, you know, new cast if I can make it happen. But, no, I'm joking. Right,
in the contract.
Like, I'm going to have Samuel L. Jackson playing the part of, oh shit, it's Nick Fury. But, but yeah, so hopefully, I probably won't be next week, only because I'm going to be away this weekend, and the pieces are almost made, but not quite made. But yeah, there's going to be a fresh sheen on all of the shows, Slam Jam, you know, Extreme Improv, a lot. So with that,
on Zoom.
No,
We're going to Skype.
The Skype, Jesus.
Oh dear
Let's
God.
just do Microsoft Teams and have done with. Right. Okay. So
we're going on Microsoft. What's that thing? The thing that they have?
Teams.
Teams.
Yes.
Teams
I like
sucks.
you for
Yeah. We'll be doing this for 90 years.
Yeah. Right, anyway, until next time, make sure you smash that subscribe button here on the Geek Battle Gaming, not Geek Battle Gaming, on the Geek Battle YouTube channel. Do check out the Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channel as well, and all of the other Extreme Improv and related channels. And with that, until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, live long and prosper, may the force be with you, and ciao for now. Boom. And we are off the air.